G'day guys, it's Mike from BA Gaming, and for this week's instalment of gaming we're going to have a bit of a crack at Picketts Charge. Now Lance has gone on holiday, so it's down to me, so I'm going to run this solo for a bit and see how it goes. In essence what I'm doing, I'll show you the table in a moment, running the Battle of Kernstown, which is taken out of Charge, which is made for the Johnny Reb Society. I've adapted it for Picketts Charge, so let's see how the table looks. Okay, so you can see on the big area cam, right, this is the battlefield, so this red area here is giving you a direction, so it's north, right, this is the Valley Turnpike. The actual battle is on the 23rd of March 1862, and basically what's happened is Jeb Stuart's cavalry commander Ashby has encountered a small force at Kernstown of Union troops, and Jackson's trying to bag a lot of them, but as you'll see, things won't necessarily turn out exactly like that, because by the time Jackson arrives there's a fairly larger force in place. Just in terms of ratings, most of the troops are veterans, with a couple of green and the Stonewall brigades rated elite. There is reserves coming in on a bit of a schedule, so I'm going to kind of say the turns are about 15 minutes. I know in Picketts Charge it sort of says, well, there's no real sense of how long a turn actually is. We're going to try that just in terms of the clock for reinforcements coming in. So this is Kernstown here. Just move the dice tray out of the way. And so you have Kimball's brigade over here, and Kimball is actually acting overall command, right? And then Sullivan's brigade sitting in here, right? Kimball's managed to put a battery, or Kimball and Sullivan both have a battery up on the hill, right, which I think is called Pritchard's Hill. And then Kimball also has one battery limbered on the road in reserve. The Union reinforcements are coming from the north, right? This arrow, as I said, so north is in this direction. And down here in the front you've got Ashby's cavalry. So the whole battle's going to kick off at 3 p.m. So the Union player has 3 aids, so at the start of the turn we're going to dice for aids. So Union player, we're looking for 3 pluses. Right, so the Union has 2 aids. Represent them there. And then the Confederate player at this stage really only has 1 aid on the table, but Jackson's about to arrive, so I'm going to give him 4 brigades, and so I'm going to land a roll for all 4 of those. Right, 2 of them are failed, so the Confederate player has 2 aids available. So in terms of issuing orders, Union player at this stage is just going to not do anything in particular, so each staff officer is going to be sent out for divisional orders, and the same for the Confederates. Okay, so Union player rolling for hesitant brigades. So the first one, got to get a score of 3 plus, which they make, and Sullivan's brigade, which is these guys here, makes it also. So both of those are well handled, and Ashby is rolling and is also well handled. So they're going to dice the first turn. So 2 dice, Union are sitting on a 9, and the Confederates sitting on a 10. So the Confederates are going to go first in the impulses. The turn sequence, we do declare charges. Now there's no charges at this stage, so the phasing player is going to move. Okay, so an old leg can change formation with no penalty. So what these guys are going to do is they're going to form into skirmish order, right, which gives them a 15 centimetre move. So you're going to move up to the creek bed. As skirmishes. I'll just turn this around so I can have the dice train in line. Okay, might have successfully masked my guns there, that's good. Okay, so they're going to do that, and that's the only movement they're going to do. Over on the Union side, I think it makes sense for this regiment to advance. So in line is going to move 15 centimetres. And I think the rest of it's just going to stay put at this stage. So we're now onto 5 phase. The Confederates get to shoot first. Now they have 3 bases of skirmishers, so they get 3 dice. Right, they get to add a casualty dice because they're elite. So they're up to 4 dice. Can't see anything else in there. So skirmishers are going to hit on a 5-6. Right, and we've rolled 3 hits. Okay, so the way we're representing hits on our troops, right, is we're using small white dice to represent the first lot of 6 casualties, and then changing out for a red dice for the second lot. And so 3 hits, I'm going to assign 2 onto this unit here. I think we'll whack 1 on these guys over here. And then the second thing that's going to happen is the artillery, which are light rifles, is going to shoot at this regiment on the hill. They are within 23 centimetres. Now light rifles, right, are 20 to 55 is effective range. And take a pair of dice. They didn't move. Just straight 2 dice. Okay, go up to Snake's Eyes, which is going to put a fire casualty on the battery. Not an auspicious start for them. Okay, crossing across to the Union player. So this regiment here, they're all within 15 centimetres. Okay, so that's going to put them in effective range. So we're going to go, these guys here are actually green. Right, so they're going to go, I believe, a deadbeat volley. Small regiments, so there's a small regiment before they start. Shooting at skirmishers gets a -2 dice modifier. So they're going 3, which becomes 1, which is going to put them on fire discipline. The next unit along, just standard troops. So standard volley for them. 2 dice -2 shooting at skirmishers becomes 3 on a standard volley. Again, is fire discipline. Right, and the 3rd regiment's got a bit of a shot. So this is shooting through here. Right, they've got 8, which becomes 6 on a standard volley, is 1 casualty to the skirmishers. Last thing to consider is weather. So it's 74 from the battery. Now they are Napoleons. It's going to be 12-pounder smoothbore. They're at long range shooting at artillery. Okay, let's give it a shot. So long range, we've got -2 for shooting a deployed battery. So this is shooting from these guys across onto the rebel artillery. And they roll a 12, of course. So long range fire with 12, -2 is a 10. Right, that's 2 and an elephant test. So these guys are up to 3. Yeah, I'm holding those double 6s too because that's a fate roll somewhere along here. Okay, so elephant test for the guns, 12, they love it. Okay, now, no, I think we're okay with the serendipity check. Okay, now there's no bounce back through there from the guns, so that's the end of firing. So that's the end of the first turn, so that was 3 o'clock. Let's say it's now 3:15. Okay, so we're going to start by rolling for brigade leaders for the Union. So this time they only have 1, so let's chuck that guy off. So they have 1 brigade commander. For the Confederates, they also only have 1. Interesting. Okay, so in terms of Union play is going to give Kimball's going to give himself a reroll, and the Confeds are going to take a reroll as well. So Kimball's brigade, which is here, 5, no problems. And Sullivan's Brigade, 3 is also okay. So both of them are not hesitant, right? And for Ashby, 6, no problems as well. Okay, in terms of first turn, Union is coming in on a 9, Confederates coming in on a 6. So the Union is going to take the first turn. So the question is, does the Union want to move? I think at this stage, not. Does the Confederate want to move? No. So we now start in with Union firing. Now these guys didn't move, so both of them lose their fire discipline. Okay, so a small regiment using a deadbeat volley. 7. Oh, 7, it's not a 7, it's actually a 5, which is half. So 4, 5 or 6, no effect. Okay, from the 2nd Union Regiment across at the skirmishes, 5 becomes 3, so it's going to put them back on fire discipline. And 3rd Regiment, so shooting across here, is a 6, minus 2 is a 4. On a standard volley, again gives them fire discipline as well. So Union firing is not going so well at the moment. The guns will take another shot given the effectiveness of their last one. Right, so they're long range, minus 2. So they've got a total roll of 4. Right, so long range 4 is no effect. Okay, Confederate shooting back. So I think the Confeds might change. So the skirmishers here, 4 dice, shooting across the front. Now again, strictly speaking, you should be able to target an individual unit. When we play, we like to say, well, that fire's kind of across. So looking at 4 5s or 5s and 6s, no hits. And then Confed's long range fire at the Confederate artillery on Richards Hill. Now you've got a 5, minus 2 is a 3, which is going to give them a fire casualty up to 4. Ouch. So that's the end of the turn. So, as you can see, this game ticks over really nicely. 3 aids for the Union. Right, all 3 are in play. And 4 aids for the Confeds. All 4 of them are in play. Okay, so I think Kimball's going to get a bit greedy here. He's going to go intensive artillery. I'm going to put the aids over on the artillery and give himself a reroll as well. Down here, the Confeds have got 3 brigades coming on, so they're basically going to use each of their 4 ADCs to give each brigade a reroll. So Union, Kimball's brigade with intensive artillery is a pass. Sullivan's brigade is also a pass. Ashby is a fail with a reroll, is a pass. Then coming on, we have Burke's brigade is fine. The Fulkerson's brigade is fine. And then the Stonewall brigade. That is not, but has a reroll. Just. Okay. So here they come. Now I'm going to pause this for a second while I just organise the troops to come on. Confederate reinforcements have arrived, and so basically you've got Burke's brigade coming up in here, Fulkerson's very weak brigade coming across this way, and then the Stonewall brigade, actually commanded by Garnett at the moment, coming across this way. Stonewall brigade's carrying quite a lot of artillery with it. Okay, and so this is Fulkerson's brigade here. Burke with three regiments coming up, plus a battery of guns. Fulkerson's also got a battery of guns. And Stonewall with 3 batteries and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regiments basically coming up, looking to kind of swing around and engage, try and outflank the Union over on that side. Okay, let's put the dice tray back on here. Okay, so let's roll for initiative. So Union sitting on a 7, Confederate sitting on a 4. So Union has the first is the phasing player. Okay, so we're going to start with charge declarations. There's none of those. Then we think about movement. I think it's probably time the Union player got a bit sensible with his third battery of guns. So guns are moving 20 centimeters. So they're going to swing around up this way. Both these units aren't going to move, therefore their fire discipline's going to come off. I think that's probably all they want to do. Okay, so the Confederates, basically I've moved these guys on. I think I might give them, let's say, a half move just to get them on a little bit further. Okay, so over here we're going 7.5. The stream is completely fordable. So these guys are going to form into a double line here in the street. Again, double line doesn't actually give you much other than, as it says in the rules, it allows you to basically fill up a space, so that's what they're doing. Guys are going to advance a short way now. Their intention at the moment is going to be to form out into line. So these guys here are actually going to do that. So the intent is we're going to basically form line with the support behind it. And artillery. Back there. Just going to move the leader across so we make sure that it's really clear whose brigade is whose. Okay, so that's the end of movement. So it's now firing. Okay, so firing. Start off. These guys are a deadbeat volley into the skirmishers, -2. Right, becomes 4. That's going to be fire discipline. Next regiment across, doing the same. 9 becomes 7 on the standard volley is 2 hits. Ouch. So up to 3. Now, these guys I think will shoot at them, so they're at 20, so it's a long range. So it's all volleys at long range. Basically 2 straight dice, 3, not so great. Fire discipline there. And these guys will shoot at the column. Now, column doesn't give me anything extra. Target is in column, yes, it doesn't give me +2 casualty dice. Ouch. Okay, so I'm rolling casualty dice as the reds. Okay, so they're going to get a kill on a 5 or a 6, so here we go. Right, so it's 1 kill for that, plus a 6 on the long range is half. So 50-50, so it's 2 hits on that column. I actually think in the FAQ they might have dropped that casualty dice down for column at long range to only 1 dice. I'm going to do that either way. So this regiment over here has taken 2 hits. Alright, Union guns is the next one. These guys have got target out in this direction. It's 60 centimeters, and they're in column. Right, that also adds 2 casualty dice. So here we go, long range. Right, so long range shot is worth 8. It's 1 hit, and the casualty dice pushes that up to 2. And then Napoleon's in the middle. I think we'll have to take a shot at this regiment here as well. Now they are no longer in column, so it's just a straight dice roll. Right, 4 at long range is going to be a 1 off a fire casualty. Fired them. These guys don't have a target. Okay, so Confederate shooting. So we'll start with the skirmishers. We've got 4 dice of skirmishers still. Shooting across the front. Right, and that's 1 hit. And in fairness, we'll put it on the Ohio regiment. Okay, then guns are going to take a long range shot across at the Napoleons on the hill. They're down there now up to 4 casualties, so they're getting -1 from their dice. That's 8 becomes 7, and -2 for a battery becomes 6. So long range with a 6 is a half. So here we go, 50-50. 4, 5, 6 is 1 hit, definitely, on those guns. Oh, sorry, my bad. They're also running intensive fire, that battery. So that battery shot at these guys down here. They get 2 casualties now. That's 1 hit from that. So I couldn't remember whether I'd actually fired them before, but I did. Okay. Alright, other Confederate shots. So I've fired the guns, fired the skirmishers. This double line is going to have a shot. Now they shoot as a deadbeat volley, and they also get -2 because they moved. So they get a 4, which is going to put them on fire discipline. And I actually think because I want everybody else to move, I'm not going to fire. Okay, so that's the end of that turn. It's now 3:45. So we start for aids. So the Union player has 3 aids, right, and they only have 1 available this turn. Confederate player has 4, and they have 3 available. Confederate player is going to give 1 to Garnett to get him moving. In fact, he's going to put all 3 on Garnett, and they're going to issue him with a move out order and try and get them ripping around the flank there. Okay, so the move out order is going to give the brigade an extra 4d6 of movement. Okay, so let's roll for brigades. So for Kimball with a reroll, no problems, and for Sullivan without a reroll is okay. And then the cavalry is alright, Fulkerson is okay, Burke is fine, and then Stonewall's brigade, so Garnett is not, but has a reroll. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so 3 aids up in smoke. The Stonewall brigade has become hesitant. Of all the times when you probably didn't need that to happen. Okay, so the first turn, the Unions just straight dice. Right, they're on 10. Confeds have got -1 because of the hesitant brigade. They're 6, so the Union's going to go first. Right, so charges, nothing. Movement. Okay, let's start by ripping these guns around. So, batteries that want to unlimber formation changes. Okay, so artillery is going to, it's a half move and unlimber, so they're going to take a full move, get themselves out here in 20 centimetres and get ready to drop next turn. Over here, this Union line's going to wheel around. So these supports are within range. This second support's going to move up. It's tricky knowing what your opponent is going to do with his next move. Okay, so that'll do for Union movement. Confederate move. So everybody except Stonewall. Okay, so light woods here are having no effect on movement. Okay, these guys are going to ripple out into line. These guys will maintain their column formation because basically they want to mask the guns. Batteries coming through. That's all Stonewall, so that's all doing nothing. Sidewards movement along this way to unmask that first regiment, taking their 3 casualties with them. Alright, so it's now time for, I'm just going to pull that off. It's time for Union firing. Okay, so these guys here are now fire disciplines that are removed. Just trying to make it so you can see a bit better. Alrighty, so these guys shoot their -2 modified, deadbeat volleys, going to put them on fire discipline. Moving along, these guys are going to be firing to the fallen regiment. Right, they're at long range, so it's going to be standard long range volley. Six is a half. So the 50-50 is nothing. These guys shooting at the line. That's 10. Right, that's 2 casualties. So it pushes these guys up to 3. Okay, so this regiment here shooting at the column. 2 dice plus 2 casualty dice. 2 casualty dice are nothing. The 6 is going to be, range will be tricky. It's just over 15. Therefore it's a long range volley. It's going to be a half. So 4, 5, 6. So it's 1 casualty. So this regiment's now up to 3. Okay, and then the final guys that have just moved into place. Okay, so they moved. So they're shooting at a column. So you're getting 2 casualty dice. They're at long range, right, and -2 because they moved. So they're on fire discipline, but snagged 2 casualties. Okay, and the rifles up on the hill again. 2 casualty dice and 2 normal dice. So we've got 2 casualties with the casualty dice and a 12. Ouch. So long range with a 12 is 3 and an ET. Alright. So that's 5 casualties total. So they had 2 plus 5 gives them 7, so I'm now putting a red dice on with the number 1 on, which is actually 7 casualties. And they've now got to make an elephant test. So 7's a magic number, but they're over 4 casualties, so there's a -1. So 7 becomes 6. So they've missed it by, actually they're elite. So they obey orders on a 6+, so they're okay. Just. Okay, Confederate return fire. So skirmishers, again sitting on 4. Pretty much firing entirely at the high regiment down the end. And they've scored 2 hits on them. So up to 3 casualties. Guns taking a long range shot at the, so rifles shooting at the Napoleons on the hill. 3, they're taking another fire casualty. They cannot take a trick. So they're up to 5 casualties. 3 of them I think are self-inflicted. This regiment here is going to fire. Now they did a formation change which I'm going to count as movement. Now somebody's screaming at the video saying it is or isn't. So 2 dice. So that's 8. So it's 10 -2 because I moved becomes 8. Eight on a long range volley is 1 casualty. So these guys are now up to 3. Those people aren't sure. 4, 8 are the break numbers where the troops degrade, and then 12 is a remove from the table. That's all the fire that I want to do. Okay, so we're now up to 8 again. It's pushed on to 4 o'clock. So I'm keeping track of time, my little time tracker here. We made that for mainly for playing Longstreet. It's got a points counter down the bottom as well, where you can keep track of how many units you've lost. Not so relevant for this scenario. Okay, so 8 for the Union is 3, and they have all 3 of them. 8 for the Confeds, they have 2. Okie dokie. I think Kimball's going to take intensive artillery again. And these guys will take a reroll. In the latest FAQ, Rob Brown said that, David Brown, sorry, has said that for the intensive artillery to work, the batteries need to be within, I think, 5 centimetres of each other. So even though both of these batteries are attached to the brigade, they're not going to both get the intensive artillery fire, which I quite like. Now, Confeds, we're going to chuck both of these on Garnet for a fast move. So, Kimball, 1 dice, has passed. defensive artillery is happening, and Sullivan has a reroll. Made it. So obeying orders. Meanwhile, over here we have Fulkerson is moving. Ashby with Cav is hesitant. And then Burke's brigade is hesitant. It's not really looking that great for the Confederates at the moment. And then Stonewall, Garnett's brigade, he's also hesitant. So I think this is going pretty much to historical precedent. Okay, so I'm going to start with, who gets to go first? Union, 2 dice. Right, I've got 6. Normally dice not in the box doesn't count. Confederates have got 2 dice and they got -3. 10, -3 becomes 7. The Confederates get to move. Except for the fact that the Confederates can't move anybody closer. They can do some formation changes, so they will. So over here, so no charges. Yeah, so the rule is nothing can move closer to the enemy, right, but they can do formation changes. So we're going to do that. And meanwhile over here, these guys got another 15 centimetres of move, so they can take that. Alright, so that's the end of Confed move. Union move, this battery is going to drop. Does anybody else want to move over here? I actually think the Union is in a pretty good spot. These guys might swing themselves around and get to within supporting distance of those guys. These guys might creep forward so they're in supporting distance, the rest of them are okay. Alright, so it's now firing, so it's Confederate firing to start with. So skirmishes. So 4 skirmish dice and no hits. Two dice from these guys at that line. 8 on a long range volley is 1 casualty, so these guys have ticked over to 4. They've got a shot, let's take it. So they have a shot, now they are elite, which says they add 2 casualty dice. I'm going to change that. So they're adding 1. Any long range firing, so I'm going to add 1 casualty dice, not 2. Except maybe for the artillery at columns. I'll have to think about that. Okay, and so they're at long range and they move, so they're -2 their dice. So they've got 8 becomes 6, which is a half. Got 1 from the casualty dice and nothing from that. So it's 1 hit all the way out there. That was definitely worth doing. So it said end regiment's now on 1. Okay. Union firing. Oh, sorry, this battery here that's been disgracing itself. I'm going to take a shot still out there. 12 at last. Okay, becomes 10. So it's 2 casualties and I see the elephant test. Okay, so the elephant test for those Union guns up on the hill. So the fire from here across to there is a 7, and that is going to be no problems. Alright, Union return firing. What are they going to do? Okay, so they're going to start, this battery here is going to pound this line in the middle. Right now, they have intensive fire, so they're getting 2 casualty dice. Okay, 7 is their roll for long range fire. Is going to be 1 casualty for that, and then an additional 2 for the casualty dice. So that's 3, so these guys push up to 6 casualties. No test though. Rifles over here on the side, I'm going to pound. I'm going to switch target onto this regiment here. I've got a 6, alright, which is a half casualty. 1, nope, so 4, 5 or 6 they needed for that, that's a miss. Right, these guns which are just unlimited. So I'm claiming -2 on that. And they're shooting at a column which is going to add 2 casualty dice and range. This is where it gets a bit nasty. It's under 20. So under 20 for smooth bores is going to count it as close range. Now, 12 pounder smooth balls firing canister plus 2 casualty dice. So they're getting 2 casualty dice because they are shooting at a column, plus an additional 2 casualty dice. Because they are in close range. And they're shooting on the close range table with the black dice. So here we go. So the black dice is on 7. 7 is 2 and an elephant test. And they've got 1 additional one from the casualty dice. So that's 3 casualties in total. And this is where we find out the bad news. Oh no, these guys are veterans, that's okay. Okay, so elephant test. You've got 8, no problems. Still felt a lot worse than it actually was. Okay, so these guys are going to shoot at the skirmishers. It's a 6 on a normal. Oh, those guys are green, they get a -1, that's a bit interesting. So that's 6 becomes 5 on a standard volley, small regiment deadbeat volley. It's a half. Nope. These guys shooting at those guys, they get a -1, so that becomes -1 because of casualties, so that 9 becomes 8 on a standard volley. Right, there's 2 in an elephant test. No, it's not. It's at long range. So it's just 1 casualty. Right, next guy's along. Shooting the guys in the street. It's these guys. It's a 6 at long range. He's going to be half. That's casualty, so that pushes these guys to 7. So again, white dice off, red dice on. These guys shooting at the column, so 2 dice plus 2 casualty dice. Cool, snakes. We put them on fire discipline, but the casualty dice pushes these guys up to 4 hits. And then these guys right out the end shooting at them. It's a 9. A long range volley is 1.5. 1. So that's a roll of 2. Up to 3 casualties. And the guns off the end. feel like I fired them, but just in case I didn't. Rifles, 9. I think that might be. I think I'm giving them a double shot here. It's 1 in an elephant test that pushes these guys to 4. 7, so they're going to go unformed. Missed it by 1. Okay. Alright, so up to the new turn. Okay, so we've hit 4:15 and the Union Reserve Brigade of Tyler has arrived over here. So you can see it's basically coming down the middle road. Things are looking a bit grim for the Confederate Stonewall here. Has had, or the Stonewall Brigade, commanded by Garnett, right, has had 2 turns of inaction. Over here, we've had hesitance for the last turn, and the cab's done the same. Meanwhile, the very small brigade is coming up around the flank here. However, it's faced off by a battery of Napoleons, and if the last turn was anything to go by, it's going to be a very short-lived manoeuvre around the flank. Although that being said, as a Union player, right, I'm thinking with that flank's actually looking a bit vulnerable. There's only 1 battery of guns there, so it might actually be time to refuse that flank here, or at least get some supporting infantry over there. So, if the Confederates can actually push, it might actually put a bit of pressure on the Union, but they've definitely got 5 regiments and 2 batteries of guns coming in as reserve. Confederates need to really move it. Okay, so let's kick off. The Union, 4:15 turn, 3 A's, has 2 of them available. Confederates potentially have 4, they have 2 also. Put them out there so we can assign them. Okay, so Union. The moment I'm assuming that Tyler has made an advance on, so I'm actually using 1 for each of these brigades to give them a reroll. Over here, I think we'll go 1 for Stonewall, so for Garnett's brigade, so he gets a reroll, and 1 over here for Fulkerson, so as he also gets a reroll. Okay, so activating brigades. Kimball's is fine. Sullivan's is fine. Garnett is moving at last. Take this hesitant off. Burke's brigade is fine with hesitant. Ashby's cavalry is fine. And then finally Fulkerson, right, is also fine. So everybody's active. So Union has 6 for initiative. Confederate has snakes. So Union is going to have the initiative. So we're going to start with charge declarations. I don't at this stage think there is any. Okay, Confederates no charge declarations either, so it's now going to be over to Union moves. I think the Union's going to maybe we'll shut. So sideways move from memory was at half rate. Sides, step back, sorry. Not sure what a sideways move is, even if it's allowed. Not to worry, we're going to take it at half rate anyway. I'm going to call that turn to the left, or turn to the right, advance, turn back. So they're going to do that. That's probably all I need to do at the moment. Okay, so Confederate moves. We're going to start over here. 15 centimetres. These guys are unformed. They're going to maintain their unformed status and move rather than recovering it. These guys are going to form into a line. And advance half a move. In actual fact, all these guys can move a full amount with a formation change because they're elite. These guys are going to move up and ripple out into a proper line. Battery's going to move in and unlimber. Battery's going to do the same. Alright, cavalry's going to continue to sidle sidewards. Infantry's going to move up to the edge. And this gun's going to drop, race in here and drop. I think there's potentially a reasonably big risk in terms of getting pounded by the infantry fire. But we'll see how we go. These are columns, I can go 20 notionally. This guy's going to form a line and swing around, try and get a bit of fire onto that battery. Back here and drop. Okay, so firing. I'll try and keep that now. Hopefully everybody can still see it there. Perfect. Okay, so let's start. We'll start down here and work our way along. So, battery's going to shoot at these guys. They're within close range with canister, And the 12-pound smoothboards allows me to add 2 dice, casualty dice. So they got 5, which at close range is going to be 1, and an extra 1 on the casualty. So that pushes these guys to 5. No test though. These guys here are going to shoot at the guns. Now I suspect there's probably a thing about the fact they've moved in there that they can shoot them as limited. However, I'm just going to leave it as a straight shooting it there. Let's deploy battery -2. Green regiment, so it's -3. That gives them fire discipline. These guys shooting at them. In close range, it's going to be fire discipline also. These guys shooting at them. 10. It's going to hurt. Okay, standard volley with a 10 is 4 plus an elephant test. So that pushes these guys. They're currently on 7. Pushes them to 11. Elephant test is 7 minus 2 is a 5. But they are elite. It's a 6. So become unformed on a 5. Right, next regiment along. Now, fire disciplines. That fire discipline's gone. 8. Standard volley with an 8 is 2 and an elephant test. So it pushes these guys to 6. The elephant test is 11. Loving it. And then these guys shooting at them. Getting a 9. The standard volley's 3 and an elephant test. So that pushes them . These guys down the end here, on to 7 casualties. Elephant test is 5 minus 1 for casualties is a 4. They become whipped, which, using my Junta Armee counters, gives them a retreat. Now a retreat move is a fall back 10 centimeters. Right, and then fall back behind friends as a mob. So the unformed no longer counts, however, they unform these guys behind them. That might have actually worked in my favour. Not my favour, in the Confederates' favour. Okay, rifle's going to hit these guys down here. 5 at long range is going to be zip. Napoleons, I think, are going to pound these guys here. 5 is also going to be a zip. Range might have gone to effective. Okay, 43. It's effective range. 5 is 1 casualty, in fact. Okay, that pushes them to 12, so this unit disperses. Now, interestingly, 1 regiment in retreat, 1 dispersed. That is now causing them to falter. In fact, having a unit destroyed, I think, causes them to falter. That's going to be not so great. We did the guns over there. Okay, so that's everything of the Union shooting. Now, Confeds. Again, we'll work our way along from here. Right, it's at long range. Shooting at guns is -2, and then move. So it's -4. Right, so we get 8, which is a 4. On the deadbeat volley is fire discipline. skirmishers. I'm going to break this into two lots. The red ones at the guns, the black ones at the unit. Nothing. Okay, so 2 6-pounder smooth bores at close range. Sorry, I'm calling them heavies because I've been counting everything as heavy, so let's do that. Okay, +1 command casualty dice because it's got 2 sections. So shooting it down. Okay, so it's a casualty from the casualty dice, so that pushes them up to 4, and then a 9 on the close. Right, is 3 and an elephant test, so that pushes them to 7. Right, an elephant test with green. So 7, 6, because they're over 4 casualties. Green troops on a 4 to 6 get whipped. Right, so they are retreating, so they go back 10 centimetres. Right, and then they're going to fall back behind these guys. And they take their casualty with them, and the fighting discipline doesn't count anymore. Okay. Okay, so it's firing here from this unit straight across. Now they move, so they get -2, so that's 5 on close range volley. Is 1. Okay, over here, guns. Now, guns that moved, -2, close range. Okay, 9 becomes 7. Now, with a Confederate battery, with only 2 sections, it's 2 casualties +1, so that's 3 casualties in total, pushes them to 4. These guys, so they've got casualties, so they're going to be down 1 step for that. Now, they're elites, so they add 2 dice. They're down 1 for casualties and down 2 for moving, so they're down 3. Whoa, 11 becomes 8. So standard volley with an 8 is 2 an elephant test, plus an additional 2, so that's a 4 and an elephant test. Okay, so the elephant test looks like this. 5, -1 to 4. So they become whipped. So they're going to retreat, commander out of the way, they're basically going to fall back behind these guys and form a mob. And they're retreating, and the guys directly behind them become unformed. They take their 4 casualties with them. Okay, these guns are going to plough into them. Range wise is close, so adding 2 casualty dice, but -2 for movement. Okay, that's a fire casualty, and 1 hit from the casualty dice. that's the end of the Confederate shooting. So it's new turn. So we're off for aid. So for the Union, have 2 aids available. And for the Confeds, they have 4 available. Okay, so the Confeds must assign an aide to Garnett for his faltering brigade, first thing. Then, an aide, I actually think their best bet is aides all around to stop things from going pear-shaped. Union's got 2. I think they're going to assign 2 over to Taylor and give him a move out order. Okay, so let's have a look through these. So, Kimball, is fine. For Sullivan, fine, and for Taylor, move out order is hesitant. When I'm playing with the fellas, I've got to remember never to give double orders because it's not working for me at all. Okay, faltering brigade. So they are elite. And they roll 5. So they're up to obey orders. So brigade successfully rally and immediately obeys orders. That is good. Okay. Okay, Burke's brigade is fine. Fulkerson is with a reroll. Ooh, is hesitant. Just when it's looking good over here on the side. And then the Cav Ashby with a reroll is also hesitant. So in the scheme of that, the Confeds have got 2 hesitant brigades. Union has 1. So the Union with a -1 is on 7. Right, Confeds with a -2 are on 2. So it's the Union's turn. Okay, charge declarations. I don't think they want to do any charges from the Union perspective. Do the Confeds want to charge? These guys won't hesitate. I'm tempted to have a crack at that battery, but let's leave that for the moment. Okay, so Union moves. So in the Union turn, the retreating units rally but can't move in whatever formation they like. We actually, one of the things we played in Napoleonics is you rally to unformed, so it takes you a little bit longer to come back into the fight, but I don't know that that's official. Okay, so these guys are going to rally. They can rally basically in any formation on any facing. So guess what these guys are going to do? Something a bit like that. Now the guns can prolong 5 centimetres. I actually think those guns are going to limber and do a half move. Well, move the infantry first. This one, they're not going to move and recover that. These guys currently unformed, they're going to not move and recover that. These guys are going to step back. Getting support behind these guys. These guys are also going to step back behind this line. So troops can freely interpenetrate each other. Something about unformed troops, but not applicable to these guys. Okay, and the guys over there can't move. Guns on the hill are actually pretty much pointing where they need to be pointing. Okay, Confeds. "15 centimetre move. Unformed's going to rally. Retreating guys are likewise going to rally. Should they form a line? Oh. This guy's going to advance. These guys are actually just letting you in a little secret. I want to say Picketts kicking it. Burke's brigade is not allowed to advance beyond the stream, so that's why they seem to be kind of a bit passive. Alright, oops, now the Union player knows. Okay, skirmishers are going to advance. I think these guns are going to limber and move. They're carrying 5 casualties. Okay, let's take that back. Cavalry's hesitant. Cavalry's going to stay right where they are. Guns can limber and move though because they're not moving closer to the enemy. These guys over here are not doing a thing, although these guys can change formation, which they're going to do. Okay, firing. So, Union player shoots. Pardon me. Oh, tempting. Okay, gonna ping this regiment over here. Gonna be tricky to see that. Okay, so the rifle's shooting at this regiment over here, which is down to, it's got 7 casualties. So, 2 and a roll of 11. Yelch. Okay, long range, well, why not even be long range? I actually think it's just on 50. For rifled artillery, out to 55 is effective. Okay, 11 on effective is 3 and an elephant test. So currently push that up to 10 casualties. And I see the elephant test. It's -2, so that's going to be a 3. Okay, elite 2 to 4. They're whipped, so they're going to retreat. So you're going to go directly back 10 centimeters, right, and then form up as a rabble behind these guys here. Right, so that's the first retreating unit. 2 retreating units will cause that that brigade to again falter. Not so great. Okay, so okay, rifle muskets out to 30. Okay, these guys are going to take a shot, long range shot at the guns. So -2 the dice. So it's 5 on a long range volley is nothing. These guys are going to shoot that regiment. 5 and the standard volley is 1 casualty. So it pushes these guys to 7. Okay, these guns here, I think they're going to take this regiment under fire. So range 50 centimeters. So it's out to long range. 7 long range is 1 casualty. These guys are relatively fresh. They're suffering 2 at the moment. So those guys have got a shot for what it's worth, -2 for shooting artillery. So it's a 4, it's going to give them fire discipline. These guys are going to take the shot there. They've got -1 because they're sitting on 5 casualties. 4, 10 on a standard volley. Yep. 4 and an elephant test. So these guys hit 6. Right, now these guys are veterans. 8 becomes 7, which is the magic number to pass. And I don't really believe in shooting down a hill, so that's the end of that fire. Okay, so returns. I'm going to claim this artillery is firing over a crest line there, so there's no hit. It's probably a bit flaky. There probably is a shot, not to worry. These guns are shooting at them. Okay, no movement penalty, and so they're smooth bores shooting canister, so 2 casualty dice. Right, so 1 from the casualty dice and a 9 at close range is 3 in an elephant test, so that's 4. So they currently got 5, so it's going to push them up to 9 casualties. And an elephant test, which looks a bit like this. Ooh, it's going to be a 3. Right, so they become whipped. So they fall back 10, soldering them. They're unformed and they're retreating with 9 casualties. Oh, these guys should probably take a pot shot at the guns. Why not? Okay, it's at long range. -2 for shooting. Oh, no minuses for shooting at winged guns. So that's 7. And it's a long range volley, so that's 1 casualty on the gun. So I think probably should have fired at the infantry there. There's probably more value in that. Not to worry. Okay. Oh, 25 is the range. So yeah, it's within 25. So 2 casualty dice and 6. Nothing from the casualty dice. Close range on a 6 is 2. So these guys hit 6. And in here, got 2 dice, minus 2 because I moved, and minus another 1 for casualty. So minus 3. It's going to be fire discipline. But elite give 2 casualty dice, and neither of them cause any hits. Okay, I think both of these batteries are going to pound those guys. Up their effective range. Okay, 9 and effective is 2 casualties plus the second battery is 3, is going to be a fire casualty. Right, and that's the end of Confederate firing. So, beginning of the new turn. Now, time's ticked on while I've been working here. It's now, according to me, 4:45. Kind of battle's going to finish at about 7. Right, but I think it might actually end before that, looking at how some of these regiments are starting to fall apart. Okay, so aids for the Union, they have 2. Aids for the Confederates, they have 1. Ouch. They do not have a faltering brigade, thank goodness. Okay, so Confederates have 1. I think the Confederates are going to give Fulkerson's guys a reroll. Push around that flank. Okay, for the Union, I think 1 over here, make sure they don't go hesitant, and 1 to Taylor. So, Kimball is okay. Sullivan is good, and Taylor, no good, but has a reroll. Tardy Taylor over on the side there. So, off in the distance here, in fact I'll switch cameras. Right, just the final ones. So, take these hesitants off. Fulkerson is fine. Ashby Cav is hesitant. Burke is going, and Garnett is hesitant, of course. Alright, so the Union has 1 hesitant, the Confederates have 2, so Union are -1, so they have 8. And the Confederates have -2, they have 7. Okay, so it's a Union turn. So just in terms of the overall context of what's going on here, Fulkerson brigade is pushing around this flank here. This Kimball's brigade is starting to get a little bit shaky. So these guys are up to 7 casualties. These guys are on 9, 6 here in the front. We've got one fresh regiment still. Over here, these guys are not there in pretty good shape, right? But they're being pressed, although they've now gone hesitant, so that's going to take a bit of the pressure off. Meanwhile, over here, the Union Reserve Taylor, right, has had 2 turns of hesitant, but even with rerolls, I think in both turns, and so this force of 5 regiments, once it gets loose and comes crashing around this flank here, it's going to make a mess of the Confederates. It's just a question about whether it's actually going to do that. So, let's push on. Okay, charges. Well, I think it's probably time for the Union to declare a charge. So, this regiment is going to charge with this one and this one in support. Right, get to the appropriate place. Alright, so I'm going to issue fire. I've got fire discipline, it's going to give me -2. Right, so I'm getting fire discipline and my casualty dice give me nothing. So if you just caught that roll, that is 4 for the fire plus 2 lots of 2. So there is 0 casualties inflicted. Okay, so the combat resolution. Player declares a charge. Commander race charge. Okay. Right, so the veterans, so there's 0. They're not unformed. Charging flank or rear. They're not past the casualty point. Alright, so Union is on a 10. Now the Confederates have got lots of minuses. They've got -1 for casualties. They're elite, so they get +1 for that. They're not unformed, but they are hesitant, so that's -1. And they have casualties at another -1, so they're at -2. So here's their dice. So their total net roll is 1. And so that is a difference of 9. Now, the Union could elect to take, back to this. Confederates have no supports. Union has 2, 3 supports in theory. The Union probably doesn't want to re-roll at 10. They're probably pretty happy with that. Okay, so charges actions. Charge are won by 6 or more. Give them cold steel. Give them cold steel. The attacker has the choice to either take the that's the charge results. Sorry, defenders' actions, rout. Supports of which brigade falters. So, these guys are routing, right, which routes are D6 casualties. So, here we go. 5 plus the one they've got actually disperses them. Okay, and these guys can press on. Okay, so there's no melee because they basically are routed. Okay, we could have recovered a casualty too. Yup, so that's a pretty good move. Assuming the support. Oh, so let's just take the ground, which is basically that. Okay, so that was a pretty fair effort, and that brigade now falters. Okay, no more charge declarations, we're into moves. Okay, these guys are going to recover their unformed and fire discipline. This unit here is going to form up after its retreat move. This unit might come forward just to... No, in fact, no, they won't. They're just going to stay put. I think these guns will unlimber. Now I'm shunting them across because they've just formed up, so they would have been able to have that spot. These guys will pull back a fraction, and these guys will refuse the flank a bit more. They're basically waiting for the Union to come up, or the Confederates to come up over the hill here, and then give them heaps. Okay, well I think that's looking pretty good. Alright, Confederate moves. Cavalry is hesitant. These guys over here are not, although they have fire discipline. So remove that and stay stationary. These guys are going to advance their 15 centimetres. They might go like that. Still looking to capture that flank. And their guns are going to limber and move. These guns are going to move. They're hesitant, they're not doing anything. They're faltering, they're not doing anything either. These guys might form a line. There was a time when I want these guys to be able to do something. Now's it. Right, and these guys are faltering, that's no good. I'm not going to pause now to check the rules, but I'm tipping that a faltering brigade, these guys shouldn't be able to reform. That may or may not be covered in the rules, but just the way I like to see it working. Okay, so firing. There's no firing over here. These guns that just unlimbered have got a shot down in here. I think they're going to take on this regiment. So 2 plus 2 casualty dice minus 2. Okay, so it's 5 and 1 casualty. Okay, close range of the 5 is 1, so that's 2, so let's push that up to 8. These guys are going to shoot there, it's going to be long range. We've got minus 1 for casualty, so that's a 9. The long range volley is 1.5, so the half is 1, so that adds 2 casualties, so that pushes them to 10. These guys are not long for the fight. Over here, these guys are going to snipe at the guns, minus 2, 11 becomes 9, the long range volley, 1.5. 2 casualties on the guns. These guys over here, they might hit this infantry. Oh, 11. Yowch, 3 in an elephant test. Right, elephant test, how's it look? 10, no problems at all. Okay, now artillery. Light rifles on these guys. 55, I think that's going to be in effective range. Just. Okay, 2 dice. 7 on effective is 1.5. So the half is not happening. So it's up to 4 casualties over here. And the Napoleons, I'm going to pound these guys here. 2 dice, 11 of course, and we decided that was a long range. 11 is 2 on an elephant test. It actually doesn't matter because these guys are going to disperse, which I'm sure falters the brigade. It's going to falter brigade today, and if I get that wrong, you can all tell me in the comments below. Okay, so this brigade falters as well. Okay, it's starting to look very shaky for the Confeds. Okay, Confederate return fire though. Okay, we'll start here. This battery is going to hit that battery. Okay, 2 casualty dice, but we are looking at -2 for battery. Oh, I've been missing bounce through too. Damn. Okay, start that next turn. Okay, 7 becomes 5. On close range is 1. Plus an extra, that's 2 casualties, that pushes us to 3. Well, the other thing for people who aren't familiar with the game too, artillery have a degradation at 4 and 6, and they're removed at 8. Right, so they're a little bit weaker than the infantry, which is removed at 12 hits. Okay, so there's that. The fire in there no longer exists. This battery's going to hit those guys. Okay, 9. 3 in an elephant test plus another makes it 4, pushes them to 10. So an elephant test with -2. 9 becomes 7, that's enough. Then over here, now Falchion Brigade can still shoot out to the effective range, so that is 25. Yep. So both of those are within 25. So first lot into these guys. 9. Let's throw an elephant test, make it 4. So number 6, their elephant test got -1. 7, 6 becomes, they become unformed. Right, second round of fire from this battery. So shooting here. Okay, 7, see it's just going to be straight 7 at close range. Is 2 casualties plus a third. So that's going to push them up to 9 casualties. Ouch. Okay, and I'm claiming that's out of arc for those. As in fact, arc is directly ahead anyway. Strictly speaking, that might be a bit shaky there anyway. Okay, so that's the end of that. It's now time for aids. So Union have 3 potential, and they're getting 2. Confeds have got 4 potentials, and they're getting 1. Youch. Okay, so interestingly, Confeds have got 4 potential staff officers. They've failed 3 of their rolls, so they're getting 1 only, which means they have 2 Falchion brigades at the moment, so they can literally only save 1. Stonewall's brigade over here, which has taken a bit of a pasting, it's looking a bit shaky, but can attack. Or Burke's brigade over here, which can't go across the river, right? But if it goes, it opens a great big gaping hole in their centre. Alright, let's whack it on these guys, because they've got more batteries to worry about. Ouch. Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh, now the rest of it is going to be up to itself. Over on these guys, they're going to put 1 on Taylor and 1 on, assuming these guys are going to probably go, 1 on Kimball. Okay, faltering brigade. So Garnett's brigade, Stonewall brigade rolls a 4. For a faltering brigade, a roll of a 4 is going to give them an obey orders, so they're back in the fight. But these guys over here, right, brigade that doesn't get its that's faltering and doesn't get an aid, gets the chewed up thing, which is all brigade units retire 30 centimetres to their rear and 2 casualties each. So 30 centimetres to their rear is going to push them all off the table. So Burke's command has fled. I suspect Jackson's going to be having a fairly uncomfortable conversation with him. Alright, so the rest of them, they're obeying orders. Ashby's cavalry is fine, and Fulkerson is hesitant. No doubt at all. Okay, Kimball is fine, Sullivan is fine, and Taylor is at last moving. Okay, initiative. Union has 9. Confederates with 1 minus. Confederates get to go first for a change, which they might actually need. So, strictly speaking, at this point in time, I think it's probably time to call it, because the Confeds in this state here have got not much chop. I'll just flick to the main view. So you have the Confederates here, you've got Stonewall's brigade here, which, whilst having 3 batteries of guns, has only got 3 of its 5 infantry regiments left, and one of them is still reforming. Ashby's cavalry's got 1 regiment of cav and a battery of guns with 5 casualties. And Fulkerson's got his 2 understrength regiments and a battery of smoothbores. But one of those regiments is up to 5 casualties. Meanwhile, in the middle, you've got Kimball, who's still got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's still his 4 infantry regiments intact. 10, 9, 8 casualties. One of them is completely fresh. Sullivan in the middle's lost 1 regiment. He's got a fresh one up front. He's got one behind on 4, this one on 2, and this one on 9. So this one's looking shaky, but the rest of that formation's pretty strong. And then Taylor has at last got his orders coming down the road here. He's going to make, it'll take him, let's assume he goes 20 centimetres at a time. It's 1, 2, it's probably 3 turns before he can get actually into the fight, but if they can push a manoeuvre order across onto him, that might make a bit of a difference. The reality is the Union's going to push forward pretty hard here and make a mess of the Confeds here, I would say. But just for the interest of playing the game out, I'll play 1 or 2 more turns and we'll see what happens. So Confederate moves. First thing is this cab's going to move to the flank. The gun's going to spin around and come crashing back down here. But these guys on the end are hesitant. That 5 casualties belongs to the skirmishers. Might have only been 3, but not to worry. Okay. This retreating unit reforms. It's going to form a column facing this way. Basically what Jackson needs to do is get those guys back over there as quickly as possible. This column here is going to manoeuvre around. Yep. So it's got a 20 centimetre move. It's going to end up something like this. This infantry regiment's going to pull itself into alignment with its guns. 30 centimetres. It's got a shot out there. Okay, so the Union fairly uncomfortable spot. 20 centimetre move. And over here, well, there's only one way to go really, isn't there? So these guys are going to advance their 15 centimetres like this. I probably should have taken a charge, but I think they're probably a little bit too far away. These guys are going to interpenetrate through. Somebody may have had an unformed out there, but I'm just going to ignore it. Hence, I made a step back. That was getting way too brave there, given they're on 10 casualties. Okay, so small power outage on my second camera, so we're going for this one looking in this way now, just while we finish this battle off so I can post the report tonight. Okay, so we've just finished the Union moves, and it's now time for Confederate shooting. where we might hurt them a bit. So here, okay, 8. Okay, close range on an 8 is 3 in an elephant test. Regiment is completely fresh. Watch them get snakes for the elephants test. 6 is going to be unformed. Well, actually 7 they won't be able to charge. They'll go for the same regiment. Okay, 5 is going to be nothing and 1 more casualty, so push them up to 4. Right, next unit across, so standard volley. The -1 for casualties becomes a 6. That's the standard volley. Not sure if I rolled that, I think I did. Okay, so standard volley on a 7 is 2 casualties. Okay, these guys will shoot, but those guys are out there. It's going to be effective range 8. Effective range is 2, which is going to disperse this regiment. And cause these guys to take faltering. Oh, sorry, I hadn't quite finished the move. Camera lost power. The other move that I wanted to do here was these guys were going to take a 15cm advance out this way. Right. Okay, so these guys are going to shoot. Oh, sorry, Confederates are shooting first. So these guys are going to shoot up the hill. 8. Okay, it's a deadbeat volley. Because it's a small regiment, they're going to inflict 2 casualties. Okay, let's work in reverse. These guys shooting back. I move -2, so it's 5. On a standard volley, it's 1 hit. These guys, cavalry would have had a shot there too. 1 hit on these guys, pushing them up. Right, these guys shooting back at them. They got -4, that's -2 because they're shooting at skirmishes, -2 for their effect. They're rolling 7, which is going to become a 3, which is going to give them fire discipline. Guns in behind them, however. I'm going to argue we're not going to add the canister dice because the guys in front. Rolling 10, which becomes 8. At effective range is 2 hits on these guys, pushes them up to 7. Over here, shooting at the guns, -2 they moved, -2 they're unformed, so it's -5. Okay, still get a 5 on a standard volley is 1 hit. It's 2 now. These guys shooting, I think it's going to be outside standard volley range. Nope, it's in. Then to shoot at the unit. They roll 11. You've got 1 step for casualties, 10, and 2 because they moved, which is 8 on the standard volley is 2 on an elephant test. Pushes these guys up to 6 casualties. Right, and elephant test. They're elite. Roll of 9 is going to be no problems. However, guns. So targeting this regiment here. Rifles in effective range 6. Here's one more casualty. So they're now up to 7. And the Napoleons might shoot at, I think they'll take this battery on. 11 becomes 9 on effective range. Right, there's 2 casualties in an elephant test that pushes these guys to 4. Just going to check there's no additional bad things for being in artillery. Nope, doesn't appear to be. Right, and they're at -1. Okay, 6 becomes a 5. So regulars, they just got whipped. Which basically means they're going to pack up and go back behind nearest friend, so it's nobody, they're going to flee. Okay, so done that, fine, done that. I think we're all done. So, AIDS. Union has 2. There's 1, 2. And they're going to distribute them exactly the same. No, 1 to Sullivan and 1 over to Taylor. Now, Confeds have now only got 3 brigades remaining, so they're down to 3 dice. Right, and they've got all 3 of them. I think we're going rerolls all the way around. It's a bit tempted to try and launch an infantry assault here, but I think that's going to be a bit of a problem. Okay, so Taylor is hesitant, but with a reroll, he's still hesitant. True to form. Maybe somebody should give him command of the Army of the Potomac. Okay, these guys here, no problems. Kimball, no problems as well. That's 2 rolls of 6. Stone Garnet is okay. Fulkerson is okay. And Ashby's cavalry with a reroll is okay. So, first turn, the Union is -1. Dice in a box, 6, and so they're 11. Confed's got no mods, they're at 9, so Union's get to go first. Okay, charge decks. So, no charge there because these guys are unformed. Okay, charges. So we're going to have a charge here. I think we'll have a charge here against this infantry as well. And I'm going to have to find out whether artillery can act in support. I'm going to claim it can for the moment. Again, save me looking up the rules. These fire discipline guys, my understanding is we had a read through this on Friday. I think the fire discipline guys can actually charge. So these guys are going to charge the skirmishers. I wonder what skirmishers do in response. pause there to consult the rules. Okay, so charge. Move these guys up to the 5 centimetre mark. Then we'll do fire. Support. Now, guns provide defensive plus fire, but not support. Actually, these guys are unformed. They can't forget that. These guys, so they move to the 5 centimetre point, and then the skirmishers have to make a test, which we'll do in just a second. They're taking a fire discipline with them, and these guys same again. Alright, so 5 centimetre point and shooting. Oh, do the Confederates have any charges? No. Okay, ugly fire. Well, let's do the infantry fire first. You got -2. So that's fire discipline for what it's worth. So no effect from there. And then the guns are going to paste them with canister. You get 7, so casualty and two. So that's 3 casualties, which pushes these guys to 7. And they took 3 casualties on the way in, which is going to be important. Over here, skirmishers have to take the elephant test. Right, if they pass, they evade. And so they evade their full move, which is some enormous amounts. 30 centimetres. And I'm going to claim, just to keep things interesting, they're going to evade off the table. Then over here, firing, deadbeat volley, 8 is 2 on these guys on their way in. Okay, so we now go what happens to the charge bit. So these guys here, their charge roll is 4. Okay, modifiers. Lead unit casualties is -1, so they're down. Oh, hang on. They got 4, and they have 1 reroll, so they can take that. Got the same thing. Okay, so that becomes 1 for casualties for every 2 in the chart on the way in, so that's another. So they're down to 2. Okay, the defender, 2 dice. We got 5. No supports. Right, they're elites, so that's +1, so that makes it 6. Hesitant, faltering, or tuck it out brigade, no. Flanked or whipped, no. Okay, lead unit casualties, another 1. So down to 4. So the defender has defender's rear. Okay, charger lost by 2. Halt, unformed, and volley. Rolling 3, 2, or 1 casualty dice. So they stop there. I think it's probably 3, might be 2. Let's give them 3. They do 1 to these guys. Okay, over there it's already been done. Over here, the Union guys have got 5. They've got no rerolls. The Confeds have got 6. Ooh, these guys have got 1, so that's going to be 4 to 6. It's a difference of 2. That also is going to be a halt and shoot. 3 casualty dice. No effect. Okay, so it's now Union moves. Okay, these guys are going to reform. They're probably going to stay exactly where they are. These guys, on the other hand, are going to move up behind here, right, and provide some support for these guys when they have another crack in a minute. This battery is going to disappear off the board. This regiment's going to advance its 20 centimetres. Alright, so then we're going to do some shooting. So these guys are going to shoot the battery 10, which becomes 8. So that's a shot in here. Standard volley on an 8. It's 2 on an elephant test, so push these guys to 4. Now, if we're going true to form here and roll something horrible, 6 become unformed. Oh, sorry, tell a lie. Okay, it's a total roll of 8, minus 1 because of 4 casualties puts them at 7, which is what they need to pass. In the movement phase, what could they have done? These guys might angle around a little bit, something like that. Okay, these guys are going to target, both of them are going to hit this battery. Minus 2 for shooting a battery, nothing, and nothing. Okay, returning fire, these guys are going to shoot those guys with 2 casualty dice. Oh, that's going to really hurt. Okay, it's 11 becomes 10 on close is 4 an elephant test plus 2, so that's 6. That pushes them to 10 casualties. Bang. And their elephant test minus 2 is poof, they disappear. Well, I'll do a d6 casualties, which is going to take them off. Which actually falters this brigade, which is a bit interesting. Okay, and that is pretty much it. So, there you have it, my first solo game report of Picketts charge. Hopefully you got a sense from watching the game. We really like it. It plays really quickly. The tables aren't too complicated. There's no mechanisms in there that you kind of go like it's convoluted and over the top. Against a different opponent, might have had a little bit more combat and stuff. It's always difficult when you're playing against yourself that you have a sense of where you want to push and where you don't want to push, where you want to take it easy. But I tried to give the rules a bit of a workout for you. In terms of gratuitous plugs, because that's Battlefield Accessories is part of the supporter of what we're doing here. This is the terrain that we're playing on is our hex system, right? And so it's basically a whole pile of 10 centimeter hexes which are put out. And so I've spent probably about an hour actually setting the field up. Big shout out to Charge Magazine. These are available from Wargames Vault. Each one's got 2 or 3 battles in them. They're perfectly scaled for this sort of thing, so about a division plus per side, give or take, and translated really nicely across. I didn't bother with the victory conditions so much because I was just looking to play a game. He's got victory conditions around loss of figures and that sort of stuff, and I'm not a huge fan of counting casualties because I think it's more of a sense of like I've got no real idea of the actual casualty level in this battle, but it became really apparent that the Confederates were starting to take the worst of it in terms of the fire, and then their brigade started to get a bit shaky and started to fall out. And so in terms of that ebb and flow of a battle, it's got a really good feel to it. Of course, I was running a campaign system that I need to go in there and get stuck in and look at how many individual figures and that sort of stuff for tracking losses from battle to battle. So this is kind of, we also play a bit of General Dame, which is Dave's David Brown's Napoleonic version of this, which is also a really good game. We played a lot of the Peninsula campaign games on it. The other thing that we do a lot of is we do Longstreet and 28mm, and so I'm hopeful in the next week or a couple of weeks we'll put up a Longstreet playthrough. If you're in Australia and you're looking to come to CanCon, we're running a Longstreet kind of tournament this year. That would definitely be something, if you like your American Civil War, you might want to get into. I think there's 1 or 2 spots left in that, so you better get in pretty quick. Yeah, so the other thing that's probably worth mentioning is that all of the markers are they're actually designed for general d'armée, but they're the same, basically in essence the same markers, because the 2 systems were written side by side, and so instead of having a whipped marker we have a retreat marker, but aside from that they're exactly the same, so they're actually available on the website. They're really handy for markers as the game goes through. So anyway, really hope you like the game, and you've stuck it right to the end, so congratulations. Please feel free to drop any comments below, subscribe to our channel. What we're looking to do is basically put up kind of weekly, fortnightly game reports, trying any sort of system. So as a gaming group we tend to play lots of different things, so we're going to put up all sorts of things for you to have a look at. So thanks for watching, see you later.